Welcome back to Mahasiksha, the learning beyond education. Today we are going to see some of the deadly viruses that are and have ruled on our planet. Humans have been battling viruses since before our species had even evolved into its modern form. For some of the viral diseases, vaccines and antiviral drugs have allowed us to keep infections from spreading widely and have helped sick people recover. But we are a long way from winning the fight against viruses. In recent decades, several viruses have jumped from animals to humans and triggered seizable outbreaks, claiming thousands of lives. For example, Ebola outbreak in the year 2014 kills up to 90% of the people it infects, making it the most lethal member of the Ebola family. But there are other viruses out there that are equally deadly, and some of that are even deadlier. Some viruses, including the novel coronavirus that's currently driving outbreaks around the globe, have lower fertility rates but still pose a serious threat to public health as we don't have the means to combat them. So today we are going to discuss some of the worst killers based on the likelihood that a person will die if they are infected with one of these viruses, the sheer numbers of people they have killed, and whether they represent a growing threat. So before starting with today's topic, I would request you to subscribe to this channel and watch the video till the end. It would be really a great learning today. So let's begin, friends. Scientists identified a virus similar to Ebola that causes hemorrhagic fever, meaning that infected people developed high fevers and bleeding throughout the body that can lead to shock, organ failure and even death. This virus was Marburg virus, which outbroke in the year 1967 among the lab workers in Germany who exposed to the infected monkeys imported from Uganda. According to the WHO, the mortality rate in its first outbreak was 25%, but it was more than 80% in the year 1998 at Congo and 2005 at Angola. The next outbreak was in the year 1976, known as Ebola, at Republic of the Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Ebola is spread through contact with blood or other body fluids or tissue from infected people or any other animals. According to WHO, the known strains vary dramatically in their deadliness. One strain even doesn't make people sick, but the other one has the fatality rate up to 71%. The next one is rabies. Although rabies vaccines for pets were introduced in the year 1920s, and it has helped make the disease exceedingly rare in the developed countries, this condition remains still a serious problem in India and parts of Africa. It's a disease that destroys the brain. We have vaccines against rabies and we have antibodies that works against rabies. But if you don't get the treatment, there is 100% possibility that you will die. In this modern world, the deadliest virus of all may be HIV. It is still one of the biggest killers. An estimated 32 million people have died of HIV since the disease was first recognized in the early 1980s. Powerful antiviral drugs have made it possible for people to live for years with HIV, but the disease continues to devastate many low and middle income countries, where 95% of new HIV infections occur. It's better to take the precautions mentioned to avoid HIV. The next one is HPS, Hantavirus Pulmonary Syndrome, which gained a wide attention in the US in the year 1993. The fatality rate is 36%, and the virus is not transmitted from one person to another. Rather, people contract the disease from exposure of the droppings of infected mice. And previously, a different hantavirus caused an outbreak in the early 1950s during the Korean War. More than 3,000 troops were infected and about 12% of them died. And eventually, the present one, COVID-19, which is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. Most people fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. COVID-19 is mainly transmitted through droplets generated when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or exhales. These droplets are too heavy to hang in the air and quickly fall on floors or surfaces. You can be infected by breathing the virus if you are within close proximity of someone who has COVID-19, or by touching a contaminated surface and then your eyes, nose, or mouth. Viruses like COVID-19 are more likely to go deeper than viruses like common cold. Your lungs might become inflamed, make it tough for you to breathe. This can lead to pneumonia, an infection of the tiny air sacs called alveoli inside your lungs, where your blood exchanges oxygen and carbon dioxide. Eventually will lead to shortness of breath and may lead to death if your lungs and immune system is weak. Presently, COVID-19 has infected 21.3 million people worldwide and around 7,67,000 deaths. Also, a good news is that 13.3 million people have recovered. So friends, it's better to take the necessary precautions to be safe with these viruses and be up to date with the knowledge. Thank you so much for watching the video.